All right, checking again. Can I get someone to confirm they can see my screen?
I can see your screen.
Thank you. All right, so once again, welcome everybody. We are gathered here from 9:30 this morning till about 11 o'clock. We are going to do our very best to keep everybody on track. I have 9:28 currently. Just want to go over the meeting logistics for everybody. So this is being recorded in our Zoom platform. We are also streaming live right now via YouTube. I can't stress enough, if you want to, you can go to the YouTube link, which I just sent out at about 12 minutes after the hour this morning. If you go to the actual YouTube webpage and watch it there, you can interact, you can put a thumbs up, you can make comments. We have people that are monitoring those shout outs and comments. After the meeting, the recorded meeting will also be a one second. Okay. So I'm just trying to keep presenters. You will have the ability to unmute yourself. If you need help, we will be able to unmute you. You might get a pop-up that says, I need to be unmuted or asked to be unmuted. You click that, and then that will be your ability to unmute yourself and speak to the recipient that you're honoring. Virtual applause and shout outs. So again, we encourage that positive shout outs via the chat feature. So you're going to be typing those. And then also for IT assistance, should you get for some reason kicked out of the video or something to that effect, there are 2 phone numbers there. If you're using a Catholic Family Center phone, desk phone, you can just dial extension 7071 or 7830. With that said, let's get underway. As I was putting the final touches on the meeting, this literally popped in on my text. So we would like to welcome, this came in from Jen McDermott this morning, and she asked if I could share this wonderful news. And so Catholic Family Center wants to welcome our newest member, barely 12 hours old. Eloise Mary Moran was born last night at 7:23 to Caitlin Moran, one of our teammates in Elder Source. Baby and mom are doing well. Eloise had a little rocky entry into our world, but you can call it fate, karma, whatever you believe in or think. But Eloise Mary will share the same birth date as her grandmother, who sadly left this world last September. So we want to congratulate the Moran family and welcome Eloise Mary Moran. All right, on to trivia. 5 questions. I'd like to thank the folks in the spirit of time. I'm just going to move forward quickly. Okay. So 5 questions. We will evaluate. We're going to ask you to put your answers into the chat, whether again you're looking at the YouTube stream or if you're in our Zoom meeting. We're going to have kind of a fastest finger, so whoever answers them the quickest. And then we might even have our judges and panel. Yes, we've assembled a judge and panel for this. See if there's anyone who goes 5 for 5. So without further ado, let me get started with question number 1. What was the name of the program that packaged beans and drove self-sufficiency? And by the way, if you are on YouTube, there is about a 10-second delay. You will not be penalized for your answers. We will take that. The judges will take that into consideration. Our answer, last managed by none other than Ken Zablotny. The answer is Healthy Sisters Soup and Bean Works. Moving along to question 2 of 5. Who was our longtime CEO before Marlene Bessette? And as you're putting your answers in, these were assembled by Demetrius, Kathy Grant, Jen McDermott, and I have one other person to thank for this. Ruth Barone. I'm sorry, Ruth, I left you off my list there. So if you don't like the questions and they're very challenging and difficult, you know who to talk to. Carolyn Portanova was our longtime CEO before Marlene Bessette. Question number 3. I feel like Alex Trebek here. When was CFC founded? Our Director of Marketing, Kathy Grant, hopes that we go 100% on this question. I see the chat loading up, which is fantastic. We have folks monitoring that. The year is 1917. Question number 4 of 5. Jump in. You got to be in it to win it, they say. Question number 4. When did Francis Center begin operations? When did Francis Center begin operations? It's a tricky one. 1991. Okay, question number 5. Name the first substance abuse residential program for women in upstate New York. And that is none other than Catholic Family Center's Liberty Manor. All right, those are your 5 questions. As I said, our judges will tabulate the scores, and this will be announced maybe on the intranet site, Pinwheel or something, but we will make sure there is gift cards that, I guess I should have said that in the beginning. Maybe people are now wishing they participated if they chose not to, but there will be some maybe some $5 gift cards to award our winners. All right, a quick shout out to Kathy Grant and all the folks that she works with in marketing, internal, external. This is a sneak peek at the cover of our upcoming annual report. So stay tuned for more about that. Absolutely lovely cover. You can't tell a book by its cover. In this case, you can. This is a beautiful choice, Kathy. Thank you. All right. Down to business now. We're at 9:35 and right on track. We're going to open today's meeting with an invocation from Jack Belinsky. Then we will welcome Stephanie Schaefer, our CFC board chair, just to kind of recognize our board of directors. Marlene Bissett will give our state of the agency, followed by our director of workforce development, Deborah Campbell, will share a moment with our racial equity initiative. Then we'll have multiple presenters do our recognition awards. And then finally, multiple presenters will recognize our milestone anniversaries, starting at the 5-year plateau and culminating at 35 years. We'll conclude our meeting with Lisa Lewis and a recognition and shout out to CFC's superheroes. Okay, if you just give me a second, I will unmute if he's not already. Jack, are you unmuted? If not, let me.
I am unmuted.
Oh, great. Okay, then without further ado, let me turn the microphone over to Jack.
Good morning, everybody. I begin this morning with a sense of awe and admiration for the fantastic work your leadership team, but each of you on the front lines have done during these very difficult last several months. You truly are an inspiration to me, and I am very proud of the work that you continue to do in this very difficult time. I'd like to begin with an opening prayer on racial healing. God of justice, in your wisdom, you create all people in your image, without exception. Through your goodness, open our eyes to see the dignity, beauty, and worth of every human being. Open our minds to understand that all your children are brothers and sisters in the same human family. Open our hearts to repent of racist attitudes, behaviors, and speech which demean others. Open our ears to hear the cries of those wounded by racial discrimination and their passionate appeals for change. Strengthen our resolve to make amends for past injustices and to right the wrongs of history. And fill us with courage that we might seek to heal wounds, build bridges, forgive and be forgiven, and establish peace and equality for all in our communities. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Amen. Thank you, Jack. Okay, we are going to turn it over to Stephanie Schaefer. Stephanie, are you there and unmuted?
I am here. Thank you. And I just want to thank all of you for inviting me today. I always enjoy attending the CFC employee events. I always walk away with a joyous heart and so grateful for this wonderful team. And on behalf of our board of directors, I just want to express our thanks to each and every one of you. Thank you. We're showing a slide. I want to thank our board members for their service, but on behalf of the board, thank you, the CFC employees, for the heroic service that each of you are providing each and every day on the front lines. You are our heroes, serving the most vulnerable members of our community and providing the important love and work that is CFC's mission. So on behalf of everyone, just thank you all and keep up the good work. You are in our prayers, and you are the heroes. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephanie. We will turn it over to our CEO, Marlene Bissett, to share the state of the agency today.
Good
Marlene?
morning, everyone. Good morning. Thanks, Mike. I just, as usual, want to take a few minutes to do a brief recap of where we are, and as well as everybody else express how grateful I am for the people who work here, the passion you have for your work, and your just unflagging commitment to do what's needed every day. So I want to start there. I'll probably end there, and I may say it somewhere in the middle as well. But let's just move ahead to talk a little bit about last year and the state of the agency. I know it's like already in June, almost July, but we always like to do a recap of the prior year. 2019 was our 102nd year. That could have been your trivia question before, but we're growing. So we served over close to 28,000 people in the Monroe County area across all our programs in 2019. And 93% of those people live in poverty. So we truly do have a commitment and a focus on a mission to help the poor and most vulnerable in our community achieve their highest human potential. Our mission is always the same, and we are delighted that we were able to grow 10% in terms of the number of people that we served last year. Go ahead, Mike. I didn't break it out by all of the programs because that, given that we've got well over 40 programs, that gets to be a very busy document, but we've summarized them in terms of the major areas. And as you can see, we're kind of roughly split in terms of the number of people, somewhat equally split across the program areas. The biggest growth that we've seen over the years, it shows in the housing slot. What's included in that actually is the CRS program, which I think we need to this year put into family services, but it's moved from housing services, housing and crisis services, into family services this past year. So we'll shift around our charts in the next coming years, but we've grown slowly 2016 to 17, but we have grown those in the last few years. And it just is a recognition of the commitment that you have to the quality programs, because it's those quality programs that enables us to continue to get renewals on contracts and expanded contracts so that we can continue providing services in the community. Go ahead, Mike. I wanted to do a few program highlights, and I always apologize up front because I could have done 10 slides in terms of going through every one of the program areas and the key critical events that happened in 2019. As a matter of fact, if any of you want to read our 42-page program report that Sally Partner puts together for us every year, it is an extensive listing of basically everything that happened throughout our programs. But if I look at a few of the highlights, I've broken them into 3 areas. One is where we've had success and been renewed in some major grant areas to continue the work we're doing. So the Youth Build program, that was a new program to us in probably about 2019 maybe. I can't remember what year it started, but it was brand new to us. Federal level grant, very competitive, and we've been renewed in that program through 2023. Kinship is in a similar area. That's the statewide Kinship Navigator program. Also received a second year of federal funding, which both competitive, but very much a recognition of the quality work that's being done and the need in the community. I think everybody knows the Kinship is for caregivers who are taking care of children who are not their own children. It's typically grandparents, but it could be other family members. The cohort of Bridges to Success, we got a second one. So we had a wonderful grant, mostly from the state, but also from the Prosperity Fund to serve our first 150 people. And then we received a Cabrini grant to start a second cohort because of how successful the first one was. Both Elder Care Services and ISUP and STAR and CRS were awarded the next 3-year cycle from the United Way. And this was the first year in probably about 6 years that the United Way opened up that grant program across the community, and it became much more competitive. I would say about 10% or more of the agencies that had been previously funded were no longer funded. And many organizations received cuts in their funding because they awarded new providers. So it was actually a great testament to the work that's done in those programs that we continued to be funded by the United Way at a very high level for a 3-year contract. The next areas where we had really big growth. And, even though, I'm looking at the immigration piece of this, even though the refugee programs were essentially curtailed in a lot of ways over the last few years because of the federal legislation on arrivals and refugee resettlement, what this group did was then started focusing on immigration and immigration needs. And we served 2,000 people, which was a huge, huge increase in 2019. And I just think it's a testament to the organization to say, okay, if we can't do the same volumes in the refugee resettlement, how do we shift our focus to continue to serve people in that same general environment? So great work in the immigration services. And CRS grew 50%. That was the biggest growth area. I think it was over 2,600 more people were served in 2019 than in 2018. And through a lot of good work that was done in that organization to optimize the way we deliver services and hiring bilingual staff to do some real targeted outreach in the neighborhoods that they serve in. The other area of highlights is really new innovation, new work that's come back to us. So telehealth, we have grants from the Greater Health Foundation and have really started it well before we were forced to. So we were on our way on the telehealth environment before COVID started. So in a lot of ways, we were ahead of the curve and prepared to be able to shift a lot of our work over to telehealth. So big innovation in the 2019-2020 timeframe. We started our gambling addiction services, the only services available in Monroe County. We became a lead agency on a behavioral health care collaborative, which is a partnership of 15 different behavioral health organizations in the Finger Lakes region, plus 35 other social determinative health. Mike, can you help anybody else out with that?
I'm going to mute him again, Marlene, just to be sure.
All right.
And then you can, all right, Marlene, I just hit mute for everyone, so I'll ask you to unmute yourself, or I
all
can
right,
do
thank
that.
you. I got it.
Perfect.
Thank you. Okay, we launched children's health homes in the early intervention section, and they served 52 youth in the first year that they were in service. And the homeless shelters started a really innovative program with Rochester Regional Health in terms of being able to take people who would have been homeless coming out of the hospital that still needed some level of care and support. So partnered with visiting nurse services, we're able to take care of people in our homeless shelters. And then just got really huge grants to renovate Francis Center and then relocate our parole beds. The grants was over $4 million to do the renovations in Francis Center. So we've had renewals, we've had growth, and we've had innovation. So it was actually a really packed year in 2019. So thank you for not only doing what you do every day, but continuing to think about what other needs are in the community that we have to find ways to serve. Go ahead, Mike. So this, I always have to bring this slide up. I've been doing it for 5 years, 6 years now, and I'll keep doing it until we get over the 0 line. And then I'll probably keep doing it because it'll be so much fun. But right now, we've made a lot of progress. I think I've told people before that this is like our net balance sheet, right? So it's the unrestricted funds that would be available to us. It's like our cushion or our buffer. And unfortunately, the organization we had a negative buffer, right? So $4 million about in the 2014 timeframe. For a whole host of reasons, many of which came after the last Great Recession that we were in, and a lot of contract cuts and some other programmatic issues that we probably weren't as quick to respond to as we should have. But regardless, that's where we were, and we've been working our way out of that for the last 5 years. Last year, we kind of stayed flat. There were a whole host of reasons for that, and this year is going to be more difficult. And so let's lead into the COVID discussion. Mike, next slide. We have had an interesting 3 months, a very interesting 3 months. So I wanted to take a few minutes just to talk about where we are in the world of the COVID-19 pandemic. I think we've said this multiple times. This organization is essential to the community. You are essential to the community. The services we provide continue to be needed, and some even more so during the COVID crisis than when we're in our normal state of need in Monroe County. So we've all said this multiple times, and we will find ways to recognize folks, but the work you're doing is incredible. The 24/7 residential sites have been, challenged in terms of welcoming in new people from the community and being able to manage everybody safely. We've continued to have the walk-in services in many of our clinics and in CRS. We've done home visits in both aging and children, youth, and family, and transportation, facilities, safety, back office folks in finance, billing, contracts, payroll. Everybody has been required to be on their game during this crisis, and we are so very grateful for that. Our staff has really stepped up. We've done really rapid response in terms of everything that was being thrown at us on a regular basis. And I'm really grateful to our leadership team and to HR, IT, and compliance, because so many regulations and things were changing on a regular basis that we had to one, understand it, and two, figure out how to react. And all the folks in what we typically call back office were really essential to making sure that we could do this and do our work going forward. And people have really done a yeoman's job in terms of staying on top of this. I would be remiss to say that we must do this safely. And so I have to keep mentioning you must wear your face coverings. You must look at the 6 feet distance. You have to make sure that you don't have too many people in your offices. So it really is mandatory, and it's mandatory because this safety is for your benefit, for your family's benefit, and for our clients, and also for our agency. If we have to make sure that we're protecting everyone. So it's your obligation by protecting yourself and the people around you to continue to be focused on that. And it's not always easy to remember to put that face covering on every time you walk out of your office, but we're going to keep reminding you about that. So it is critical. So we've done great in working our way through this so far, but there's a lot of rough waters ahead of us. Mike, would you go to the next slide? The impact on our bottom line is really big. So, you know, I showed you the unrestricted net assets. What drives a positive performance and our ability to go up on that chart is being able to drive some surpluses and be able to maybe keep some of the funds we raise or some of the efficiencies mostly that we drive in our business. But we're in a very painful place right now. And we need to stay on top of this and make sure we're doing everything we can to address it. But we have seen very steep declines on our income. And it's mostly in our fee-for-service businesses, whether it's beds in the shelter program or people walking into our clinics, that we typically get reimbursed for the number of services we provide. We're providing a lot less services. So we're improving some of that with telehealth, and I really appreciate everybody's commitment to make that work with their clients. But we've got slowdowns in a lot of places. Programs that have milestones attached to them may not be able to make all those milestones in a timely fashion. So therefore our revenue could get impacted on that side as well. The bigger concern that we all have is the potential for cuts in our contracts from New York State. It has been estimated through 2024 that the sales tax revenues, which really fund all of our work and fund the government, are going to be down about $60 billion, 60 billion, between now and 2024. And the likely outcome of that is that contract levels will be reduced or cut, or some contracts may be cut entirely. So I hate to frighten everybody with this, but the reality is that we will have to deal with things as they come to us in the next probably 6 months, 6 months to 12 months, because it takes a while for this to flow through the system that is called government. And what we're really hoping for, and what the governor is hoping for, and I think it was in the paper this morning, is that there will be another federal aid package. And with that federal aid package, they're looking for aid to states and local municipalities so that they could fill some of these gaps and then not have to pass through some of those reductions to entities like us. So we're really, we are praying for that, next federal relief package to include aid to states and local municipalities, because that will help us very directly. So we don't have anything definitive there yet, but it is something that we're watching very closely. And we also had to postpone our gala. It's one of our biggest fundraisers for the year. And because of the nature, it was scheduled for April 25th. So we postponed it, and it's unlikely, although we're still hoping that maybe we can do something in October when it was rescheduled to. So a lot of potential impacts on that side. And on the expense side, although, all of the gloves and the face coverings and the shields and the gowns and the cleaning supplies that we've had to acquire have been unexpected and fairly significant cost increase. We've had to buy a lot of laptops to deploy for the remote work and for the tele. And we do have increased time off, that's driving more per diem work and more overtime. So more expenses to the bottom line. And the time offs because people are both either ill or they're taking care of family and friends during this time. And every time we go into a site isolation, that has some impacts on both the revenue and expense side of the equation as well. So we get a lot of challenges. And I wanted to make sure that You understand we're on top of them and we're working on them, but they're there and they're real. So what are we doing about it? The next slide. So, in terms of how are we mitigating these problems? Unfortunately, one of the things we did was furloughs, and that it was a very painful decision. Happily, we've been able to bring quite a few people back. If the workload was there and if we had the line of sight to how those programs both needed the folks and could and had the sort of income to sustain it going forward. Maximize PPP is that Paycheck Protection Program. We got a very sizable loan. So right now it's a loan, but one of the features of that particular loan is that an organization can apply for forgiveness. And there's a whole bunch of rules around what is forgivable. But if it's forgivable, then the loan turns into a grant. And if it's a grant, then it directly helps our bottom line. So your senior leadership team is working really hard to figure out how do we maximize the amount of that loan into forgiveness, because that will help much of the challenges that we have right now. It will rectify a lot of that if we can flip the loan into forgiveness. We've applied for other funding for the Emergency Solutions Grant in FEMA, technology grants. We are getting very nice donations. I was worried because of the economy that we'd be suffering in that area, but our spring appeal was very successful. And we're hoping as we continue to reach out to people, they will continue to be generous and support our mission. And telehealth is helping us in terms of mitigating the fee-for-service issues that we had in both our mental health and the Restart Clinic and day rehab. So being able to do telehealth and then moving to even the telehealth groups is a really important feature for us. Also, though, for the community, so the other role that we play is driving and helping to drive innovations within the broader community. So we've been participating in the construction and implementation of a community pilot on food delivery to people who can't make it to those food distribution sites that FoodLink has been offering throughout this entire period. And we also got a really huge increase through CRS of ESG dollars as well, but a lot of dollars for eviction prevention and rapid rehousing in the community. So our organization is really accountable for helping to uplift the community as we go into this next phase of COVID. So doing good work there. Balancing your priorities. We got a lot. So we're going to continue to take care of our clients. It's always our first priority, right? So everybody and all the good work you do, always our first priority is to make sure that we're there taking care of our clients. We do have to think about how more and more people are going to be coming back into the office, right? So we've got a lot of people working remotely now. We're doing a lot of tele, but as that starts changing and the whole region reopens, we're going to be bringing more people back into the office. So we're putting a lot of things in place right now to make sure that we could do that safely. So, you're already getting your daily questionnaire about, no temperature and no exposure to COVID, et cetera. That's one way for us to make sure that we're tracking everybody and your health, and being able to do that in the hopefully never opportunity. If somebody should happen to test positive, we need to be able to say, well, who was in the office at that point in time? But our goal is that we keep you safe and keep you safe all the time, which is why we're doing the PPE audits on a regular basis. I would say from an expectation standpoint, as the region opens and we get through phase 4, and as you start seeing like malls opening or theaters reopening for movies, you should expect that we're going to have more people back in the office. So your managers and your management team will be working with you about what the specific expectations are in your area. But as the region reopens, you'll see CFC bringing more work on site. We are going to take a redoubled effort on our actions supporting racial equity. So we started a couple of years ago and did a lot of training, put the racial equity committee in place, have been taking some actions on policies and procedures, but we really need to double down on that. With everything that's going on in the community right now, it is past time for us to be very visible and very active in the area of supporting racial equity, both within Catholic Family Center and in the broader community. So we just had this discussion at the board this morning, and we had their full support to sign on to the Racism is a Public Health Crisis declaration that the Black Agenda Group has been asking many organizations and individuals to sign on to. So Catholic Family Center will be signing on to that, and we will be signing on with the full support of the board and actions from the board, in addition to the organization. So I wanted to make sure that folks were aware of that, and that we're going to move forward on this, and Deborah's going to talk a little bit about it in a bit. We are, we're built, when I say building for the future, I mean building. I don't know how Lisa does all of this in addition to all of our other work, but we've got so many construction projects that are working right now. We got Hannock, we got Jones. When they're done, we'll do Barrington. We got Francis Center that's starting up. I mean, millions and millions of dollars worth of capital investments are moving forward. And then we have the ESG that I talked about before. That's going to be big. I mean, that's over $1 million. It's about $1 million being distributed to the community, which is going to be fabulous. And you'll hear more about that as we open it up and get everything working. But Alex Turner and his team are really taking the lead on that particular project. And something else you'll start hearing more about is that we just signed an enterprise license with Unite Us. Many of you have used Unite Us, that technology platform for referral management. It's really exciting that we're going to be able to start some other pilots across other organizations, because we now have this opportunity for unlimited licenses inside of an organization like ours. So really exciting things in terms of balancing your priorities. So I'm going to end. Sometimes I end with a prayer, but now I'm going to end my part with just a couple of quotes. We have a lot on our plate, and we talked, I talked a little bit about the focus on racial equity, and I think this quote from Elie Wiesel is really profound. Actually, action is the only remedy to indifference, and the most insidious danger of all, that's indifference. So, we really have to, when we see something, we have to do something. And this organization has been, it's been part of the core and culture of this organization. So we need to take it into all of the challenges that are facing us right now. And then sometimes it seems like when we list all of what's happening and the financial troubles and the priorities that we have in front of us, it seems insurmountable sometimes. But I love this quote by St. Francis. Start by doing what's necessary, then do what's possible, and suddenly you're doing the impossible. You guys do the impossible every day. And I want to thank you for all you do.
Thank you, Marlene.
Back to Mike.
Yep. Thank you, Marlene. And thank you to everyone in terms of everything that everyone does every single day. We are going to build right off of Marlene's comments, and we are going to turn it over to Deborah Campbell, who is our Director of Workforce Development, to talk a little bit about that. Good morning, Deborah.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. I am so honored to be here this morning to talk about what we've been doing as part of the Racial Equity Committee. And I want to first of all thank Marlene and our Racial Equity Committee for coming together to talk about some of the inequities that we see in our community and across this country. So I'd really like to take this opportunity to let everyone in the agency know that from our board of directors, our CEO, senior leadership team, OLT, we are committed to being a part of this change through CFC. We are the biggest nonprofit in the city, and we serve a majority of people of color. And this work cannot be done unless we all pitch in to help. So we're really excited about it. Our committee is open to anyone that is interested in being a part of racial equity. You know, I've always said that it's more than just a Black and white issue. It is really a issue for humanity and mankind, that we take this opportunity to really work together, because it will only make our lives better. And with that, I'd like to share a video that was sent to, this website was sent to the Racial Equity Committee from Wisdom Weavers of the World. And it's really the vision of Indigenous people of Alaska, who talks about how we need to come together in harmony for humanity's sake, that if we are to continue living on this planet we call Earth, it is our opportunity to be here for each other. This is just a short video. I encourage everyone to check out this website and really enjoy this little snippet. Thank you.
Thank you, Deborah.
Kukua e kahali ano ku aina no hana le I kau I ka hano ina mauna he kolu I ka ua loloku e puni ana nani male hiki manuku kila na moka makau I ka oku I ka wae o ka kili ko mama hoa I te te hau kukua e kahali ano ku aina no hana le I
The world will look towards indigenous people for answers.
We have one Earth, and I do have concerns about what we are doing to it.
Nuestros corazones se han cerrado y nuestras mentes no han entendido.
This is the time of the feminine. This is the time of the woman.
We are the ones we've been waiting for. And what we know is that the key to this mystery is simply to drop into your heart.
I will meet you there. And we're going to heal the earth. We're going to heal our people. We're going to heal ourselves and everything around us.
Remember who you are. Live your traditional wisdom. We need you. The earth needs you. Now.
If we focus on what we dream this world to be, that will become the reality.
Thank you again to Deborah Campbell for that share and the entire racial equity team for all the thoughtful work that they do. We're going to turn to our awards portion of our presentation now, and we're going to start with Kelly Thien, our foster care supervisor. Kelly, are you unmuted or may I help with that?
I am here. Can you hear me?
I can, Kelly. Welcome.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. So I'm Kelly. I'm the supervisor of the foster care program. I wanted to take, before we get into talking about our youth, just take a moment to first recognize my amazing staff. Our program would be obviously nothing without them. And we have 6 staff in our program, 4 social workers, a home finder, and a case aide who show unparalleled commitment to our youth that we serve, not just now during COVID, but all the time. So I think we wouldn't be able to recognize our youth without first recognizing the help that they receive from our staff. And today we are recognizing 2 of our program youth, which is incredible. But I want to point out that these are just 2 of 8 of our youth in the program who are graduating this year. So we are very proud of all 8 of them. And also 1 former youth who aged out of our program, but who is also graduating from high school this year. So we can get started. Who is first? Alvaro. Okay, so I have with me Melissa Narbona is the worker currently working with Alvaro Mendoza. So she will introduce him to you.
Morning. One of this year's scholarship recipients is Alvaro Mendoza Orozco, a 20-year-old youth from the village of Chuy-Manzana in the beautiful Sololá department of Guatemala. Some of Alvaro's favorite hobbies are listening to music and playing soccer or football. And he speaks 3 languages, Cachiquel, Spanish, and English. He arrived to the US in 2015 and has been with us for 4 years now. Alvaro lives in the foster home of Mr. Edward Wilson, and we are very grateful for his constant care, encouragement, and support of Alvaro's goals. Alvaro will be an official graduate of Edison Career and Technology High School tomorrow morning, where he will walk the stage and receive his diploma at his graduation ceremony. So we don't have pictures of that quite yet, but we do have a recent photo of Alvaro right here. Alvaro has a lot of talent in constructing things, and he plans to further develop his skills by going to a trade school to specialize in masonry. Alvaro, we are so proud of you and your achievements. We wish you the best, and we have no doubt that you will continue to be successful in all of your endeavors. Mucha suerte.
Thank you so much, Melissa. All right, our next youth we'd like to recognize is Juan Tomas Torres, and his worker, Hannah Anderson, is here to introduce him to you.
Good morning. So my name is Hannah, and I have had the pleasure and honor of working with Juan for the past few years. He is a really hard worker, and he has been tested in a lot of ways with how hard he is really willing to work in order to graduate from high school, and he did it, and I am so excited for him. I'm so proud of him. Juan, unfortunately, is in a position of being what I call barely documented in the US, which means that he is here legally, and that is it. So he is unable to get a social security number, which if you do the math on that means that he can't get any kind of financial aid for college. So he is in the position of having to support his college education entirely by private scholarships. So I'm really excited that as an agency, we are able to support him and support his future with this scholarship, because he definitely deserves it and he needs it. I'm proud of him for making it here, and I am excited to see what the future holds for him. Also, shout out to his foster parents, Juan and Barbara Geit, who have worked tirelessly to support him and to advocate for him. I'm excited for you, Juan.
Thank you so much, Hannah. those are our youth that we have for today. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Kelly and team. And congratulations to the recipients. We will move on now to our Volunteer Recognition Award. And Ginny Clark, our Associate Director of Aging Adult Services, is just unmuted. Welcome, Ginny. How are you?
Hi, yes, thank you. Hi, everybody. Good morning. So I'm very pleased to have to recognize Joe Grant for the volunteer recognition. I'm happy to have known Joe for 9 years now. He is just the kind of person that you want to know. Aside from being an overall great guy, as coordinator of the Homeworks program in aging and adult for several years, he has demonstrated his patience, his work ethics, his get it done attitude, and his care for client and staff needs. As the coordinator, he is basically in charge of the whole thing, from enrolling clients, recruiting workers, scheduling jobs, renewing memberships, and solving problems. He knows all about home repair and maintenance and uses that knowledge daily. No small job, given that he works from his own home with only occasional visits to the office. And importantly, he is on call 24 hours a day, even on his vacations. An example of shows how great a job he really does is also become the informal caregiver for 2 of his neighbors, both of whom have limited family supports. No complaints, just patience and willingness to work through some complicated situations. Even with all that, he still consults on various other client needs for other programs. For example, he has arranged a pickup of a heavy lift chair and delivered it from one client to another. Another time he helped a client achieve just the right bed height so that she could get in and out of bed safely and comfortably. So I'm very pleased to have Joe recognized for his volunteer work at Catholic Family Center. He's very deserving, and it could not have happened to a nicer guy. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, Joe. Congratulations, Joe, on the recognition. And thank you, Ginny, for the thoughtful words and presenting. We are now going to turn it over to Sally Partner to present the Marvin Mitch Award.
Good morning. The Marvin Mitch Salt and Light Award was created to honor the memory of Marv Mitch, who served as CFC's Director of Advocacy and Parish Social Ministry at Catholic Family Center from 1999 until his death in 2018. He was a beloved part of Catholic Family Center and was a passionate advocate for social justice, both locally and globally. The Salt and Light Award was created in his memory to be given to a staff member who embodies the values that Marv held so dear. This year, we were very fortunate. We have a committee, a 5-person committee, which includes Demetrius Brigham, Deb Campbell, Marcus Ebenho, Jennifer McDermott, and myself, who had the pleasure of evaluating 5 very outstanding nominations. Nominees this year were Lisa Hoyt, Obaida Omar, Miquel Powell, Afshan Qureshi, and Jerry Wallace. And after a lot of deliberation, because there was a lot there, it's amazing what so many people do in this organization. We are delighted to announce that this year's Salt and Light awardee is Afshan Qureshi, CFC's Immigration Program Manager. Afshan embodies the spirit of the Salt and Light Award, both within and outside of CFC. Internally, since joining the organization in 2018, obtained her full DOJ accreditation and has been the first staff person from CFC to represent clients at immigration court in front of a judge. She regularly travels to immigration court in Batavia and USCIS in Buffalo to support our clients. And under her leadership, the whole CFC immigration team obtained their DOJ partial accreditations. She has also launched a successful citizen preparation class, and they will start offering ESL classes at the end of June. Afshan and her daughter Nina, who she's brought into the CFC family and also for immigration services, traveled to the southern border with Catholic Charities last summer to help with the migrant crisis there. As a staunch advocate for social justice, Afshan volunteered for many years at Sathya Rochester, New York, and I apologize if I butchered that name, to advocate for victims of abuse and crimes in the South Asian communities of upstate New York as a DOJ accredited immigration representative and domestic violence advocate. She has helped countless women through some of their most difficult times as they leave abusive partners or family members and get back on their feet. In this role too, Afshan regularly went above and beyond. I was amazed to learn that in 2015, she traveled from the US to Pakistan and Afghanistan to help a domestic violence survivor with their children after her in-laws kidnapped them. It took a period of 8 months, but they were successfully found and are living happily in Rochester with their mother. She has also served as the president of the Pakistani Association Society of Rochester and was awarded the Bruce Frazee Memorial Award for a grassroots organizer from Resolve of Rochester, an organization dedicated to breaking the cycle of domestic violence. Afshan, congratulations. You certainly embody the spirit of Salt and Light, both within and outside of CFC, and we're delighted to present you with the Marvin Mitch Salt and Light Award. The award, I have the award right here in my office, and when I can see you, I will delightedly give it to you in person.
Thank you, Sally, and congratulations, Afshan. Afshan, I did unmute you if you would like to say a word or two.
Yes, I would. I am shocked and that I would be considered, because I think everybody at Catholic Family Center does everything that I am doing anyway and has been doing it for many years. A couple of people I'd like to thank in particular. When I first was looking to get immigration program accreditation, that was about 16 years maybe ago, 15 years ago at least, I reached out to Catholic Family Center, to Jim Morris, and he didn't know much about me, but he was very willing to support me in trying to achieve what I wanted to do for immigration for the vulnerable communities. And from that day, I've never forgotten that. And it was very interesting when I got a chance to meet with Lisa, who fortunately hired me and gave me a chance to work further in doing what I love to do best, in helping others. And it was a great opportunity. I've had a wonderful time so far and tested Lisa's patience, and I appreciate the fair-mindedness she has offered me as my boss, especially, and the team that I've worked with has helped every bit of what I am able to achieve through Catholic Family Center, workforce, from Deborah Campbell to Gigi in our refugee program, Obeda, and of course, most of all, again, the rest of my team that has supported me in this, and I really appreciate it. And I do believe Catholic Family Center really serves the family in so many ways, and I'm lucky to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Afshan. And congratulations to all the nominees. Before we move into our length of service awards, I am, Marlene, just so you know, because you're going to try to unmute, I'm going to hit a mute all because I think there's a little bit of background noise. So real quickly, mute all. And great. And Sally, thank you for representing and honoring Mitch as well. We're going to move into our length of service awards now, starting with the 5-year recipients. There are 39 of them. And again, you guys are doing a great job. I'm monitoring some of the chats here. Continue to give those shout outs. I'm going to turn it over to Marlene Bissett.
All right, we'd like to just go through all of the names, and there's so many of them, but we want to recognize our 5-year employees. Eli Albering, Akil Aljesh, and I have to note that he's got 3.5 extra years of service, and I'm going to get behind here. Oh, good, you're controlling it. Thank you. Asmahan Atala. Then we have Ruth Barone, and Ruth has 5 additional years prior to her rejoining in 2014. Gigi Bashir, Jean Crawford, Dolores Chrysler, Lazarus Dennis, Lorena Davia, Jeff Footer, Molly Frank, Holly Fries, Ebony Grimes, Cherie Johnson, Marie Lee, Nilda Leon, Chandra I'm sorry, I'm losing my, I just lost my place, sorry. Chandra Manali, Donna McGowan, Ernesto Nelly, Carolina Melkarik, Marisol Moore, Suzanne Mueller, Tom Osipovich, Caitlin Plankenhorn, David Plankenhorn, daughter-father combo there, Michael Powell, Annabella Annabella Quintana. I'm sorry, Annabella Quintana. I keep rolling over my own tongue here right now. Then we have Markia Rivers. And I'm sorry, Michael, can I just, he had one additional year prior to joining in 2014. So I just wanted to note that as well. Then we have Juan Rodriguez and Sandra Rodriguez, Madeline Sakashi, Lauren Solomon, Alden Thomas Poner, Cynthia Williams, Tiffany Williams, Daniel Wright, James Wright, and Ken Zablotny. So congratulations to all of our 5-year employees, and some had breaks in service and had additional years in there. So thank you for all your work.
Great, congratulations, all 39 of you. For a moment, we're going to step away from our presentation and cut live to 87 North Clinton to give these folks a quick honoring. There you have it. They, we're going to forgive them for not practicing social distancing. No, but okay. Moving on, congratulations to the 5-year milestones. We're going to look at the 10 years of service employees. These recipients will receive a $50 Amazon gift card. And the 5 years get a $25 gift card. So quick round of applause for them, and we will move into our presentation for Ashley. And I believe Mary Jean is our presenter.
Good morning, everyone. I'm lucky enough to be able to speak about Ashley Baranis this morning. Ashley joined the CFC agency as a student intern back in January 2010, and we were lucky enough to hire her later that spring as an ISEP case manager. She's also worked as our intake specialist and then earned a well-deserved promotion to senior case manager. Ashley is known by the team as someone who has the biggest heart. She will always make the time to listen and support others, both clients and coworkers. Ashley is a team player. She shares her ideas on programmatic improvements. Ashley goes above and beyond, and one of her strengths is how she is in her case management style. I've been on home visits with Ashley where upon learning her client hadn't eaten yet that day and wasn't up to fixing a meal herself, Ashley went into the kitchen and whipped up a meal. There are countless other stories along these lines. She's a talented photographer. You walk through the first floor hall at 55 Troop Street, beautiful photographs. She shared this talent with CFC by taking photos at past galas and golf tournaments. She's an event planner and has helped plan many team, department, and employee engagement activities. Thanks, Ashley, for all you do. Aging and Adult Services and CFC are so lucky you're part of the CFC family.
Thank you, Mary Jean. Congratulations, Ashley. Okay, we will move on to Mark Dixon. And I believe our presenter is Donald Burgess.
Oh, yeah. Hello there. I don't know. Mark, he's been a great deal of help to me at the CR. You know, Mark really gets engaged with the clients. He loves, being able to be there for them. He's very helpful, reliable. I mean, he puts in 110% plus when it comes to doing whatever needs to be done at the residence. So I'm not sure what else I'm supposed to say.
All right, Don, thank you very much. Congratulations, Mark, on your 10-year anniversary. Okay. And next, we're going to honor Elizabeth Fisher. And I believe that Paula is going to read remarks honoring Elizabeth. And Paula, let me unmute you.
All right, great.
All right, thank you, Paula.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Bridget Washington, our supervisor, couldn't be with us, but she provided comments. And Betsy's been out a bit with the pandemic here, so we haven't been able to see her recently. But Bridget wanted to share that Betsy, Elizabeth Fisher, aka Betsy, is a 4'9" Spitfire at Barrington. Betsy has worked for Catholic Family Center for 10 plus years. She had 4 years prior with DePaul, and has always been very committed to the ladies of Barrington. Thank you, Betsy, for all you've done.
Thank you, Paula. And congratulations, Betsy. Okay, next up we have Angela Jackson. And Angela is going to be recognized by Mary Jean.
Actually, I'll recognize Angela today.
All right, thank you, Jenny.
Angela has been with CFC for several years and is probably one of its biggest advocates. Her commitment is shown every day when she works with our clients and our staff. She consistently shows patience and compassion, as well as technical knowledge of her job. The best way to describe the working Angela is problem solver. If anyone has a problem, big or small, Angela is the go-to. Angela can problem solve a last second change to a client's schedule and ensures that clients make it to the doctor on time. She can jump in her car to help a coworker who has a flat tire. She developed a new database and earned her green belt certification in the process. You can work with data and people equally well. In a lot of ways, our department pivots around Angela. If she does not know the answer herself, she knows where to go. She juggles multiple everyday priorities with expertise and also manages to serve on the Pinwheel Committee and the Racial Equity Committee. Angela is a great person to have around. So thank you, Angela.
Thank you, Ginny. Congratulations, Angela. Well deserved. And next we have Fancy Van Hoos, and I believe our presenter is Antoinette Poole.
Yes. Okay, so Fancy has been one of the most vital members of the outpatient rehab program. She has always been very dependable. She is someone that has stepped in to save the day several times for me. Since I've been her supervisor. She has been a joy and a light for the rehab team. Her compassion and creativity is infectious. She creates beautiful art out of scraps of paper and has taught art skills to clients that they will have forever. She is definitely one of a kind, the type of person you wish to never retire. Her passion for the field of addiction shows in every interaction she has with the clients. Fancy, you are a blessing and you're truly appreciated for all you do. Thank you.
Congratulations, Fancy. Thank you, Antoinette. Our next 10-year honoree is Karen Horst, and I believe
Mike, can you re-say what you just said? I couldn't hear it.
Something happened.
Jen? Okay. All right. Karen. Words for Karen. Karen's position here at CFC is home finder for the youth in our foster care programs. This means that Karen literally finds homes for the youth to live, but she does so much more than that. Karen finds families who open their doors and hearts to children and young adults who have no other options when they arrive in Rochester. Karen's dedication to her work shows in everything she does. She develops families, matches youth to the homes, knowing that this is a significant and life-changing task. Karen's passion for what she does is evident in the care and thoughtfulness she puts forth to ensure she gets it right. Along with that, Karen's own special way of telling everyone what they need to do and how to do it shines through. Karen, Jen cannot thank you enough for all that you do and all you have done for the youth in the foster care program for the past 10 years. Thank you.
Jen, did he take the words right out of your mouth?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Jen, if there's any other. Did I do okay?
You did great. Yes, thank you.
All right.
Karen.
Great. Thank you. Okay. And we're going to move on to our next honoree is Jeff Woodworth. And our presenter is also Jen, I believe.
That's me.
Okay.
All right. So Jeff was an MSW intern in the preventive program 12 years ago. A chance encounter a few years later led Jeff to have him be hired here at CYF when it became available in 2010. Jeff is passionate about helping and empowering clients to reach their potential. He strives to, as he puts it, teach clients to fish so that they can become self-reliant and not dependent on others. Jeff draws on his deep faith in God to sustain him and his work with at-risk and his colleagues value his helpful attitude and his kindness. When Jeff is in the office, he searches out each person on site to check in with them and to make sure that their day is going okay. Cheryl Moeller has been Jeff's supervisor the entire decade that he has been here with us in CYF. Cheryl says about him, "I appreciate Jeff's hopeful, prayerful attitude toward the complex situations we have supporting and sustaining real human beings. Our work with the vulnerable is holy ground, and Jeff treats this great responsibility with love and care." Thank you, Jeff, for all that you do.
Congratulations, Jeff. Thank you, Jen. And next up we have Michelle, and our presenter is Jessica.
Hello. Michelle Sasente has been with Catholic Family Center since July of 2009. Since being here, she has worn many hats. She started out in the Family and Youth Engagement Program, and then for many years, she worked as the bilingual independent living skills coordinator youth mentor in our foster care program. She thrived in this program and built a strong connection with the youth that she worked with. Currently, Michelle is a dedicated member of our early intervention health home team. She joined our team in November of 2019 and has been dedicated to her role from day one. She loves and cares for all of her clients and is an incredible team player. She has worked to assist our student interns and is always the first one to offer a helping hand to a fellow employee. Michelle is always seeking out training opportunities and loves to learn and grow as a social worker. Thank you so much, Michelle, for all that you have contributed to all the programs that you have worked in since being at Catholic Family Center.
Thank you, Jessica. Congratulations to Michelle. Next up at the 10-year mark is Lisa Hoyt, and our presenter is Jim Morris.
Thanks, Mike. I can't imagine her department with such care and empathy as Lisa has since she took over the Refugee and Immigration Services Department. I wouldn't say that the federal government has a personal vendetta against Lisa and our group, but I'm sure at times it felt that way. But Lisa's been a steady and reassuring force for her staff and the refugee community. So important to have the right people leading in the right moment, and Lisa's a great example of that. She is a tremendous team leader and leads by example. She's not one to take shortcuts or beat around the bush. Lisa is a cut to the chase, grab a shovel and let's get to work, do something important type person. And she cultivates that same type of personality in her team and in her department. Many of whom had such kind words to say about Lisa when I was asking about some help for her Wordle. I'll spare her the embarrassment of all the details, all the nice things that were said about her, but suffice to say, her people love her for her genuine support, fairness, and as their fearless leader. Thanks, Lisa, for 10 years at CFC. I've got a lot of confidence you're going to outlast that guy who's giving you such a hard time. Mike, back to you.
So what's our contingency plan if we lost Mike?
Yeah, that's a tough one. I see you there, Mike. Are you ready to move on to the next slide?
Thank you, Jim. Recipient, Lonnie, and our, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I had a change, but okay, Lonnie is up. And hold on a second. Are you not seeing Lonnie?
We are. Lonnie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kathy?
Kathy, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, Lonnie Kashka. I think everyone knows that if you need to buy something at the best price possible, you can call Lonnie. He is the purchasing guru at CFC, and we certainly are lucky to have him. Over the past 10 plus years, Lonnie has written numerous RFPs or requests for purchase, and has successfully negotiated many contracts, including our ECR, our new payroll system, our financial systems, and many other similar contracts. He is a tough negotiator and will always go back to see if he can get a little more off the price. He has been instrumental in working his magic to secure laptops and other necessary supplies during these challenging times because of the relationships he has developed over the years with his vendors. And because of these excellent purchasing and negotiating skills, he has saved the agency thousands of dollars. Lonnie is also a great team player and will do anything for the finance team and everyone in the agency, no matter what it is. You always see Lonnie contributing his culinary skills behind the grill at employee functions. We appreciate all Lonnie has done for the entire agency. Thank you, Lonnie, for all your contributions and congratulations.
Thank you, Kathleen. Congratulations, Lonnie.
Thank you. My video is not working for some reason, so.
Okay. Next, we have Nate Patterson, and I want to double check on our presenter here.
Is Johnny on? Renee, would you be able to say a couple words? Let's get you unmuted.
I think Michelle Medina was going to do this for Johnny.
Oh, okay.
Great.
Let's see if I see her. I'm not seeing Michelle on here either. Renee.
Yes.
Renee, could you say a couple of words on behalf of Johnny Cole for Nate?
Yes. Can you guys hear me?
We can, thank you.
Okay, great. So Nate is a very dependable, reliable gentleman. He is always a great role model here for our clients, a great team member. Not only is he proficient in knowing how to manage the program, he also helps us out with our food ordering and menu prep and works very closely with our cook. He's always quick with a smile. He's a real asset here to CFC and very, very grateful to have him here as part of our team. Thank you, Nate, for everything that you've done.
Thank you, Renee. Congratulations to Nate. And next up at the 10-year marker is Nay Thorne, and our presenter is Obaida. You're unmuted.
Everyone. Yeah. Technical issues here. Good morning, everyone. Well, I could write a book about Nay. He is just an awesome individual. Nay has started as a case aide at Catholic Family Center and moved up to case management. And now he's a transitional case manager. He deals with a lot of challenges, clients and DHS issues, and he handles them so well that it's just, we cannot do the work without Nay. Nay is a dedicated staff member who helps clients regardless of who they are. And Nay is reliable, compassionate, and caring. He goes above and beyond to make sure client needs are met. And Nay delivers even furniture from Saint's Place for clients if the need arises. He's always ready to take challenges. He never complains, no matter how difficult the task may be. We are so proud to have you as part of our work family. We hope that you keep up the good work for many years to come. Congratulations on achieving this 10th anniversary with us. And we are truly appreciated your hard work and dedication.
Thank you, Obaida, and congratulations to Nay and to all of our 10-year milestone recipients. Next up, we have our 15 years of service awards. They will receive a $75 Amazon gift card that can be picked up from their supervisor. Quick round of applause before we turn it over to Frank Hill, who will recognize Frank.
Good morning.
Morning, Frank.
I have the pleasure to recognize and be honored to John Barbero. John certainly brings life to supportive living and life to the fourth floor. He adds that special touch that's definitely needed with the population we serve. John's been with the agency, as you know, for 15 years, and in that time, he's worked in several capacities. He first worked in Freedom House as an intake coordinator and voc ed counselor, intake coordinator clinician, and presently in supportive living as a clinician. John brings a wealth of knowledge and skills to the table that are vital with our population we serve. He demonstrates the ability to navigate through a maze of challenges that we encounter daily. John is very meticulous, and John works tirelessly to make sure that all of our bases are covered and that our clients receive the best treatment that we can deliver. One thing that's interesting about John is his ability to express his thoughts and his concerns in a very eloquent and witty way. He's a broad thinker. John can certainly bring a light to a dull atmosphere, and I appreciate him for that. A couple of things that I know I appreciate also is that John certainly will be playing the national anthem at noon, which I really think is a great thing about him. And John certainly helps to make supportive living the successful program that it is. Thank you, John, for a great job. Well done.
Thank you, Frank, for the kind words. Congratulations to John. Our next 15-year recipient is Carol Farabell, and our presenter is Bobby Stevens.
Good morning, everyone. If you don't know Carol, she is our accounts payable specialist. She touches just about everyone in the agency and does it with a beautiful smile. Carol's been with us for 15 years. She started out as our payable specialist, worked briefly doing contract billing, and then came back to her passion, and there she is. She is a team player. With her, it's not me, it is we. She is always willing to lend a helping hand to her coworkers who might be a little overwhelmed. She'll stop by and just want to help, stop whatever she's doing, and whether the task is big or small. If you're struggling any given day, could be just feeling down, her smile will lift you up. She's always smiling, Carol. Smiles are free. Take as many as you like, right? I appreciate you each and every day. When you were created, it was like a rare, precious gem, a purple one, of course. You are the sunshine on a rainy day, a breath of fresh air. I thank you for all that you do for CFC. I am honored to call you my friend and coworker. She is the only one that I know that's been to Woodstock. Never stop being you, my hippie friend.
Thank you, Bobby. Congratulations to Carol. Next up, we have a recent birthday that was celebrated. Rose Good and her supervisor, Owens Shepherd, will speak on her. To her.
Good morning, everyone. What can I say about Rose? I mean, to see her every day is to know who she is. The flashiest lady I see every day. When I got here to CFC, Rose was instrumental in my transition into my role. And so, you know, after 15 years, she knows our clients, she knows our staff, and she knows their needs. And so Rose has just been a delight since I've been here. And from what I've been told by others, just a beautiful soul since she's been here. So I'm so glad that I have the honor and privilege of knowing Rose and working with her side by side each and every day. She's the glue that holds this department together. So we're very thankful for her. Thank you, Rose.
Thank you, Owens, and congratulations to Rose. Next up, we have Jacqueline Hicks and Estella will be speaking.
Hello. I have the pleasure to work with Jackie, and unique to Jackie is not just her amazing professional performance, but her attitude towards our program. No case or situation is ever an obstacle in her work, but an opportunity to serve others. Her goal is to organize her work to serve as many clients as possible. Do part-time, she delivered full-time impact as a consequence of efficient scheduling, flexibility, and empathy toward those she serves. She supports her clients by being an exceptional driver, being efficient with the scheduling, and having excellent customer service skills. These qualities amplify her traits of reliability, considerations to others, and kindness. Her clients are not just a name on her schedule, but human beings that need help and support. She has a unique quality. She sees others as a whole person, identifying their needs beyond what is the task required for her the job. As a consequence, she makes a significant number of referrals. She is kind, empathetic, and service is the core of who she is. Thanks, Jackie.
Thank you, Estelle. Congratulations. Faith LaBarber, 15 years.
Hi, Mike. Okay. I didn't see, okay.
Estelle, I think you muted yourself. I'm going to unmute you or ask you to unmute.
Okay, Faye. You hear me?
We can. Yes, Estella.
Okay. This Faye. Persistence and tenacity is two words that came to my mind when describing Faye. No problem or difficult situation is an obstacle for her. She's overcome difficulties as they come. Faye is naturally empathetic. She is sensitive to her clients' needs. Faye goes beyond what is the required of the job taking the time to research other support systems, and persistently advocating on their behalf for which refers to others programs in our department. Patience is another of Faith's qualities. She is always there for her clients, responsibly living up to the demands required of the job. Faith is a good with computers and she's fast learning making good use of the skills by maintaining and updating the client's information. She's friendly, patient, tenacious. It is a pleasure to work with Faith.
Thank you, Estella, and congratulations to Faith.
Congratulations.
Caroline Shaw is up next, and Marie Lee is speaking.
Actually, this is Lisa. I'm going to do it.
Okay, Lisa, very good.
So Caroline Shaw, what can I say about her is that she is really a loving person. She is really calming. I have known Caroline for 15 years, and she is an awesome case manager. She's always there to help any of the new case managers learn. If you want to know anything about DHS, Caroline is the go-to person. She has a deep faith in God, a loving personality, and just will at times just encourage you. As you know, one of the things I like best about Caroline is even as a supervisor, when we're down, she'll be like, hold your head up, take a break, Lisa. You know, you need rest too. Caroline is one of those persons that she will always advocate for everyone around her. And she has just been truly a blessing to our agency. So we just want to thank you, Caroline, for everything that you do. We love you and we expect many more years. You can't go anywhere yet.
Thank you, Lisa.
Caroline, again.
Thank you, Lisa. Congratulations, Caroline. Okay, we are going to move to the 20 Years of Service Award. Recipients will receive a $100 Amazon gift card. And we are going to start off with Annette Poole presenting Antonius Bridges. Oh, sorry, Antoinette. I think there you go.
Okay. All right. So Diness, it is definitely a pleasure to recognize Diness for her 20 years of great work. Diness has been employed in several programs through CFC, but I am so glad and grateful that she ended up in the outpatient rehab program. Her dedication to this field of work is commendable. She is a leader, a team player, and an excellent clinician. And she is a very vital member to the outpatient rehab program at Restart. You can always count on Diness to uplift and help others during difficult times. Her optimistic, easygoing attitude and passion has brought her so far. Diness, we are so grateful to have worked with you and to get to know you. I have learned so much from you as well. I hope we still have many years ahead to continue working together. You have been a blessing and I truly appreciate you for everything you do. Thank you.
Thank you, Antoinette. Congratulations to Donest. And I apologize to any names that I've kind of tripped over this morning. I probably should have done a preemptive one of those apologies ahead of time. Next up at 20 years is Jennifer Berenson, and Jim Morris is speaking.
Thanks, Mike. If you look at Jen's Wordle, you'll see that that word cheerful really stands out. And that's true. Jen is an extremely upbeat, positive person, nice to a fault. She treats the people that she works with at CFC, as well as her partnerships, with respect and kindness. But above all else, Jen is a protector. And as CFC's leader of the Children, Youth, and Family Department, that's exactly what she should be. Thankfully for us, she's a pro at it. The other thing you should know about Jen is her fierceness. And that's not a word that would typically get up on her Wordle, but it's descriptive of the passion and determination that Jen brings to her profession. That goes for whether she's going after her C, her license as a clinical social worker that she got last year, or whether it's advocating for a child needing to be placed out of the home. Jen's determination to get to the right place for herself and all the kids that her and her staff watch over is never in doubt. Thanks, Jen, for 20 years of your service and for your leadership protecting our most vulnerable children.
Thank you, Jim. Congratulations, Jen. Jim, don't go anywhere. I think you have another Jen to honor and recognize.
I do. I have back-to-back Jens. When I was looking or reaching out to her staff and getting feedback for her Wordle, one of the people on our management team said that Jen is simply the best, and I would totally agree with that. I've never met anyone who is as genuinely caring and selfless as Jen McDermott. She does so much work for CFC and also just below the radar, advocating for elders in our community and for projects like the Livable Communities initiative in Rochester. And she's really opened my eyes and enlightened me to what's going on with our older population in Rochester. She's got, Jenna has this well-cultivated rep for leading agency-wide committees because she's such a great communicator, and she's got creativity and enthusiasm that makes everything she touches fun and productive. And plus, she always brings candy. Lastly, Jen's all about the team. She drives inclusiveness, openness, and mutual support, and her team loves her for it. Thanks, Jen, for 20 years, your leadership, and for your example of what living your values really looks like.
Thank you, Jim, and congratulations to Jen. One more at the 20-year marker is Lisa Lewis, and Marlene Bissett is speaking.
Lisa Lewis. Okay, everybody, I want you to picture January of the year 2000. It's dawning cold and dark like most Januaries, but it's this dawn of a new millennium. And people have these great expectations and great hope for change that this new millennium is going to bring. And it brought great things because it was also the dawn of Lisa Lewis's employment at CFC. And I got to tell you, during her years here, Lisa has transformed all of our housing and residential programs. The best data indicator of this is the capital line item on our balance sheet. And that reflects the investments that we've made in properties. And in the last 10 years, this line item has grown from a few $1 million to over $20 million. And every one of those dollars marks the work and success of Lisa Lewis in having vision and expertise and credibility to win these very competitive, funding in the first place, and then having the commitment to improving the facilities, and having the fortitude to actually drive it to completion. She's got such great commitment to improving our facilities for our clients, and she has added the burden of managing construction projects to her already full plate of responsibilities. So the buildings, and they're the physical markers of Lisa's contribution to CFC, but it doesn't end there. Lisa's commitment to staff development, her ability to over-deliver on her budget year in and year out, her passion for developing new services for clients, and the really incredible reputation that she has with funders, partners, and government leaders. And she has that reputation because they've come to know her integrity and trust her to deliver what she promises. And she has just created immense value for this organization over 20 years. So I am grateful for all that Lisa has contributed in her 20 years, and I'm really proud to work with her today. And I pray that there will be 20 more years to come. So please join me in congratulating this energetic, tireless, dedicated, and caring leader.
Thank you, Marlene. And congratulations to Lisa Lewis. I'm not monitoring, I can't keep up, but the number of chats coming in on the chat line is phenomenal. for many of our recipients. Okay, so next up is our 25-year marker. We do have one recipient at this level. He will be receiving a $125 Amazon gift card. And our presenter who will recognize Johnny Cole is Renee.
Hi, everyone. Johnny Cole has been a part of CFC for 25 years. This picture here depicts, he's actually with his daughter. Freedom House hosted a special event for a team building, and he came out for one evening and brought his daughter. It was a lovely event. So he's held many different positions across the agency, including senior house manager for Alexander in supportive living. He was supervisor for Jones and Alexander, program manager for Jones, and his current position here as residential manager for Freedom House. When I talked to various team members here, they all said that he has a way of giving the pickle. The pickle principle promotes good customer service and motivates individuals to go the extra mile. Johnny is a dedicated leader who leads by example. Implementing rules and structure is a good thing. However, acts of kindness go a long way. Johnny finds a way to provide tokens of appreciation and kindness along the way, while also providing the necessary structure to his team and to our consumers. Thank you, Johnny, for your hard work and dedication. We're grateful to be able to work with you.
Thank you, Renee. Congratulations, Johnny. All right, we are going to move from 25 years to 35 years of service. We have one person, and Marlene will be recognizing that person for receiving a $175 Amazon gift card. Marlene?
Well, I have the pleasure, Christy is out today, so I have the pleasure of recognizing Ruth Chubb. Ruth joined CFC when we merged with Family Services of Rochester. And at the time of the merger, she was a preventive social worker and joined the preventive team in Children, Youth, and Family. And while she was there, she was able to engage families and just be an incredible advocate for them. One story that shows how Ruth went above and beyond for the families that she served was when a mom that she was working with was not going to be able to get to one of her children's school performances. So Ruth knew how important it was, and she worked late into the evening so that she could be the transport to and from that event and make sure mom didn't miss it. Ruth, after CYF, she transitioned to Hannock Hall, where she showed her dedication to the ladies as she used her clinical training to teach the ladies tapping, which is a technique used to help reduce the impact of trauma. While she supported the ladies at Hannock with their recovery, she also began supervising the drug prevention program and eventually transitioned to be the part-time role of the drug prevention supervisor. While there, she developed strong relationships, really strong relationships with the school districts, allowing the program to expand with CFC providing more and more services. This is a direct reflection on her leadership and dedication to the clients that we serve. And now, after 35 years, even though Ruth is planning to retire, her commitment continues as she's determined to smoothly transition her role to a new leader. So Ruth, thank you for your dedication to our clients, our agency, and staff. Your time with CFC has had a great impact on so many people, and you will be greatly missed when you retire.
Thank you, Marlene. Congratulations to Ruth, and congratulations to all of our milestone anniversary recipients. We are in the final minutes of our presentation this morning, and I'm going to turn it over to Lisa Lewis, our Vice President of Housing and Stabilization Services.
Hello, good morning, everyone. So I want to just say a couple words to everyone on behalf of the senior leadership team, but I want to kind of start with a quote from Martin Luther King that says, "I act, I behold, service was joy." I think every one of us at this agency really believe in the mission of CFC and serving. We want to be servants as Jesus Christ was. So for me, CFC is made up of people who put our mission and our values into actions with a sense of caring to build our community. We have been through and are still here because we are facing a very challenging times. Our staff are truly our superheroes. You show who you are every day in everything you do. On behalf of the leadership of CFC, we are with you during this time. We will get through this period of time together. You have our heartfelt thanks and respect for everything that you do for us every day. Our words, our thoughts, our gifts to you cannot convey how we appreciate all of you. Please know that together we can do anything. The senior leadership team celebrates you as our superheroes. Thank you again for all the work that you do. Mike, please play the video.
Thank you, Lisa. Without further ado.
Cape on my back. I always wanted to be the best in my pack. I always wanted to be known to be good, to be the hero of my own hood. If I could just fly, I could save everyone. Stop all the wars so nobody's gotta run. All the killing, all the crimes, pain and suffering. It's getting tougher to be buffered from it all. Are we gonna make it through? Is he gonna fly back in? Cause if he don't come right now, I don't think good will win. Time is running out. Do we wanna wait for him? Or is it our time now to bring the good back in?
We don't have to leap tall buildings in a single bound. There's a lot of good that we can do. Standing on the ground. We don't need a jetpack suit to take us to the cloud. It's up to me and you, right here, right now. Superhero, na 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 na. The superhero. Whoa, 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 whoa. Superhero, na 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 na. The superhero. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
The world is full of so much pain, and though I can't fly, I can do my little here before I die, yeah. I may not win the note, a little more time and might change my life, yeah. Like giving a hug when somebody is down, feeding a soul when there's nobody around. Small things that can change the sound and the vibe of the spirit that can change the town. Started small, now it's touched the crowd. The crowd is growing, now the word is out that if we all do our parts, we can touch the clouds. Without a cape and a mask, we can touch the clouds. Yeah.
We don't have to leap tall buildings in a single bound. There's a lot of good that we can do. Standing on the ground. We don't need a jetpack suit to take us to the cloud. It's up to me and you, right here, right now. Superhero, na 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 na. The superhero. Whoa, 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 whoa. Superhero, na 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 na. The superhero.
It's the smallest things that make a difference, and all the power's locked within us. All we gotta do is find the key and turn the latch and set it free, yeah. We don't need to be fast and strong, cause a kind word can go a long way. Help someone whose faith is gone to get back up and carry on. Maybe it's too hard to understand, think it's too much for us to handle, but I promise you that you can, cause you don't need to be a Superman.
We don't have to leap tall buildings in a single bound. There's a lot of good that we can do. Standing on the ground. We don't need a jetpack suit to take us to the cloud. It's up to me and you, right here,
right, folks. Want to thank everyone that worked very hard putting the presentation together. Congratulate all our award recipients again for their years of service, and really for everyone for what you do every single day. Be safe. This will be the stream itself will be shared, and then the individual videos as well we'll make sure that want to reference them or use them when you're maybe having a difficult day or something. Without further ado, I'm just gonna say thank you and wish everyone well. I'm gonna be logging off here, and then that will save everything. So thanks, and thanks for being great virtual participants. Be well and be safe. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Mike. Well done. Thank you, everyone, for participating.